for premature ejaculation. And on the foreign front, the World Health Organization chief says discovering the origins of COVID-19 is a moral imperative and all hypotheses must be explored. We are grateful you could join us from wherever you are this afternoon. Now, let's begin from here. A survey by the Ghana Statistical Service detailing internal migration of households and families within the country has identified 10 out of the country's 16 regions as out-migration areas. This means indigenes in the regions, which include the Volta, the Northern, the Upper East, and West regions, are moving to areas like the Greater Accra and Ashanti regions. A survey which studied migration patterns between 2010 and 2021 revealed Greater Accra, the Bono East, the Ahafo regions are receiving a lot of migrants from other parts of the country. What are accounting for these migration figures that we have seen from the GSS survey? Godwin Odei-Jebi is Assistant Chief Statistician at the Ghana Statistical Services, joining us for some conversation. Thank you for joining us. So can you explain to us what the Ghana Statistical Service sought to achieve with this survey on migration, which is revealing this much?
Right. Good day to your listeners, and thanks for the opportunity given by TV3. And we appreciate. We conducted the census 2021, and as part of our analytical report is the report on migration. And basically, the reason why we're reporting on migration is that it's a key component of population growth. Our population grows through fertility and mortality, and then also migration. So there is a need for us to report on migration. So that is the key reason why we are reporting, because it's a key component of our population growth.
And what we're accounting for some of these movements, if you found out, especially the migration from other areas to the Greater Accra and the Ashanti regions specifically, these two?
Yes, what we meant was that for these regions, they gain population through migration, because there are resources or issues which attract people to move there. Basically, when there are resources somewhere, there is that kind of attraction. It pulls them to settle in this area. So that is the reason why you see a lot of people trooping to Greater Accra and the Ashanti region.
What would this mean then for the regions where individuals are already moving from in terms of the development in these parts? And what is the overall impact of these movements on development, even in the areas which are receiving the individuals or the migrants?
Yes, what it means, you know, it is all part of the population redistribution, where resources somewhere attract people to move. So definitely, what we accounted for is that these regions they lose population through migration, because a lot of people move out of the those areas compared to those coming in.
Finally, before I let you go, Mr. JB, one will wonder, in real terms, what will be the impact of this survey that you have just conducted and the findings to Ghana's overall development agenda?
Yes, so as I indicated earlier, it's part of the census report. It's not a standalone survey which we conducted, but then it is part of the census. And once we've come out with the census results, there is the need for us to do a lot of publication. And one of the publication is the thematic report on migration. This gives a detailed and more disaggregated data on our migrants. So we're looking at it and we're reporting regions which gain population, and then regions which lost population due to migration.
All right, thank you very much, Godwin Odejebi. He's an assistant chief statistician at the Ghana Statistical Service. They're helping us understand the outcomes of a survey or the census they conducted, some of the themes that were coming out of that census, which is revealing widespread migration from some regions into other regions like the Greater Accra and the Ashanti regions. In the coming days, we'll be having a conversation about what this will mean on the development distribution in the country and which of the state agencies should be taking up some of these results and how they can ensure that they manifest into developments in these areas. You want to stay with us. Now, it is the most common sexual complaint affecting 8 out of 10 men, with every man experiencing it at least once in their life. My colleague Emmanuel Samani in this report delves into the myths, the causes, and the treatment options available for premature ejaculation.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Whoa! As you know, this happens in a lot of bedrooms around the world. People get excited when the countdown begins, but they miss out on so much, with so much disappointment and unfulfillment, just like this champagne bottle that just popped. Now, for a lot of these so-called one-minute men, the expectations from a lot of women far exceeds the times. Now, I sampled some women, and this is what they expect our men, or these men, to last.
At least 30 to 45 minutes there.
When I love you, at least it should be an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Okay, but if you don't love the person?
At least 30 minutes is okay.
5 minutes is too short. 40 minutes is okay.
Maybe 15 minutes, you're okay, ma'am.
5 minutes there, it's a no. 30 minutes is fine.
As a result, these unrealistic expectations lead most young men to abuse substances.
Some drink, if it makes it with condiments, if you used to it go well. So at that time, I used to do them well. Then feel it, but it helped me. If I say it helps me a lot.
We are not supposed to garlic.
So what do you smoke?
Only ganja.
Only ganja. So the ganja helps you out?
Yeah, if I smoke ganja, Charlie, guys, forget. If I smoke ganja, I feel okay. I will feel well.
But how long should sexual intercourse last? Well, according to healthymail.org, most men ejaculate between 5 and 10 minutes. Research has shown that on average, the ejaculate time is 5.5 minutes after penetration. Could this be classified as premature ejaculation? Here is Dr. Bernard Tobo, who is a lead consultant urologist at Shape Healthcare.
Generally, 5 to 7 minutes is said to be standard. By definition, by the way, premature ejaculation is when a gentleman or a man is not able to voluntarily delay ejaculation, and it causes him distress, causes the partner also distress, and then the relationship is also affected.
He says a lot of men encounter this problem.
Most commonly between the ages of 18 and 30 will experience one problem like that or the other. And for that subgroup of patients, you realize that most of them are not married.
But what causes premature ejaculation?
So you have people who have lifelong premature ejaculation. So right from the time that they started having sex, they started ejaculating, almost 100% anytime they penetrate, or even before they penetrate. And then you have some people who have acquired. So previously, they were having sex okay, they were lasting quite long, their partners were happy. Then along the line, because of certain conditions, they start going below the 1 to 3 minutes, mark. Then there are some people who have the variable. Variable means that most of the time, sex is good. Everybody is happy. But once in a while, you ejaculate very early. Then the last type is a subjective type. Subjective type in the sense that for these class of men, they tend to have normal durations. But when they compare the current situation to what used to be, they've realized that the time has reduced. And sometimes for these subjective types, you may find that their partners have very heightened, or great expectations. And that can also cause a lot of distress. With this lifelong one, there's been association with certain genetic traits. So probably the grandfather had it, the father had it, and then you, the son, you have inherited it.
And how can it be treated?
There are simple techniques. There's one we call the start-stop technique. Basically, when the couple are having sex and the male feels like ejaculating, he withdraws and then concentrate on other aspects of lovemaking. So more of foreplay. Akin to that, we have one we call the squeeze technique, where once again you have the sensation to ejaculate, and then your partner squeezes the head of the penis. That's the very most sensitive part of the male anatomy, but does it gently, squeezes it, and the sensation goes away. Then you go back to the act again, and you repeat it severally, 3-4 times, or as the case may be, severally, till you feel like both of you have had satisfaction. When these don't work, there's a place for a specialized exercise called Kegel's exercise. There are medications that can be used, and there are various types. There are types like gels which can be applied on the genitals or sprays. And the aim is to numb the genitals so that the partners can last longer. Some people use condoms because, once again, just to reduce the sensitivity. And then you have some other medications like, tramadol, which people abuse, unfortunately.
Premature ejaculation is a common and often distressing problem for men, causing distress for men and their partners. While there are treatments available from psychological methods to medical intervention, many men are unaware of what premature ejaculation is and how it can be treated. As such, there is a great need for further research and awareness into this issue to help those who suffer from premature ejaculation and allow them to have better quality of life and relationships. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Accra.
Interesting one there, but let's move away from one special report to another. The use of mobile phones has become integral to people's daily lives and transactions, but these devices don't last forever. While some discard their old phones into the garbage bins, others sell them to scrap dealers who burn them to extract valuable metals. My colleague Christian Yali has been exploring the hazards this pose.
Modern technologies like computers, mobile phones, and all manner of gadgets have raised questions about their means of disposal when they outlive their usefulness. Our mobile phones are precious to us. But when they become obsolete, where and how are they discarded?
I throw it away, and in my house I have some box that I put dead phones inside.
If I can't repair it at all, I just put it down. The scraps will come for it. We dispose every rubbish inside the government bin, so we use that.
For me, probably I'll put it in a dustbin.
I also engaged some phone repairers who reviewed they sell damaged phones to scrap dealers.
Formerly, we threw them away until we realized that some people need it, those who buy the condemned box. So we sell them, we just sell them, we give them to those people.
Sometimes we sell the pass, sometimes we sell the pass, and sometimes we get some people where they come buy the condemned board, we sell, give them.
And to when you say I say cry.
At Agbogloshi, the purchase of electronic waste from mobile phones is a thriving business. Here, scrap dealers, after buying damaged phones from their owners, gather them and begin sorting.
We buy condemned mobile phones. Like if we buy them, we go come out the cover and take the bottle, give the Igbo people. Them today will break them and come out the board and throw the cover away. Whereas the copper day inside, if the rubber carve it, you're not going to use it to make money unless you go burn them. It's only that we can do it to come out that copper.
They burn the insulation of the wires from mobile phones and other gadgets to extract the metals, including copper, lead, gold, and silver threads. The burning process releases thick plumes of smoke containing toxic substances into the atmosphere, with dire health consequences on residents. Scrap dealer Ibrahim admits the negative health impact of their work, but he is quick to add that it is the only means to get what they want from the e-waste.
Without that burning, we can't do our work. They didn't provide machines for us to be working for it. The way we did here, we didn't see it as any problem for our police. But doctors, they tell us, this thing, you have problems, it harm you yourself.
In the absence of a regulation to check this industry, consumers and players determine what happens to products that have outlived their usefulness. Some users do not even know that not using appropriate methods to discard their old phones have an impact on the environment. Larry Kotoi is the Deputy Director of the E-Waste Unit of the Environmental Protection Agency.
We are incentivizing people. We cannot do this alone. We are seeking collaboration with people who are the importers of these packets. Currently, there's a World Bank funded project for the environmental health that into bring some interventions.
Now is the time for the country to figure out a cleaner, safer way to dispose of all this electronic junk. Christian Yali, TV3 News, Agbogboloshi, Accra.
On to some health stories. The Pediatric Society of Ghana has welcomed the delivery of the first consignment of measles vaccines, the BCG vaccines and oral polio vaccines. President of the Pediatric Society of Ghana, Dr. Hilda Mantebia Boy, said the society will push for the rest of the vaccines to arrive to make up the difference.
It's our hope that in the next few days we will have many more vaccines arriving in the country so that our children will have all the vaccines and the catch-up vaccines can be given for those who missed the vaccination. We assure the people of Ghana and all children that we remain resolute and will continue to do everything within our power to push for their health and well-being. We will support the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and all other relevant agencies while we fight to ensure that our children are duly vaccinated. There is an ongoing outbreak of measles in the country, and we'll urge all health workers to have a high index of suspicion, especially if they have children who have not been vaccinated, showing any symptoms that may suggest measles. This way, we can initiate appropriate treatment early and help to reduce the death that may be associated with measles.
So you heard the president of the Pediatric Society of Ghana, Dr. Hilda Mantebia Boy. In the last few minutes, the Ghana Health Service has been issuing a statement confirming the arrival of more vaccines into the country. In a statement signed by Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaje, it says the Ministry of Health has just taken delivery of some childhood vaccines that have arrived in the country. The vaccines, which have been in short supply for some time now, are BCG, OPV, and measles, with accompanying devices such as needles, syringes, and safety boxes. According to the statements, regional cold vans have been deployed with consignments to their various regional cold rooms for onward delivery to the districts and facilities from Monday, March 13. The service would like to remind the public that per the national vaccination policy, all children who missed their scheduled vaccines are still eligible for vaccination. The statement goes ahead to say they are taking the opportunity to advise the public against buying these vaccines. These vaccines are free and can be obtained at designated health facilities and all child welfare clinics across the country. So that is the latest from the Ghana Health Service, which has been confirming the arrival of some more vaccines which had in the past been in short supply. Away from that, the deterioration of a Prabong-Syria road in the Bosomtwe district of the Ashanti region is taking a heavy toll on socio-economic activities there. The current state of the road, according to residents, is making life unbearable for them. Here's a report by Ibrahim Abubakar.
This road leads to the yet-to-be operational Syria Hospital. The 250-bed capacity facility will serve as the Ashanti Regional Hospital, thereby reducing the burden on Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. The health minister, in one of his visits to the facility, said delays in opening the health facility stems from poor road network to the hospital. The Prabonsewia Road continued to worsen with no sign of rehabilitation at sight. The deep potholes discourage driving. Motorists are frustrated.
We end up spending all our money at the mechanic. It wasn't like that. We were managing the road, but since the quota was removed, the road keeps deteriorating. We are really suffering.
It's not right for people to be treated like this. It's a good road if it's done. It will be very useful road as well. And so they should do something about it. If there are people being taken sick and they have to arrive at the hospital, they will be dead before they get to the hospital. That is not right, you know. I know things are difficult everywhere, but there are certain things which are very, very important. It's roads.
Residents are worried the situation may compel most commercial transport to stop rendering their services on the stretch.
The road was in a good shape, but they removed the quota to asphalt it a year ago. Unfortunately, it's been left in this poor state without any sign of fixing it. Deep potholes continue to develop on the road, making movement uncomfortable.
Drivers always complain about spending all their money to fix their cars whenever they apply this stretch. We've been standing here for long, but yet to get a car to town. From Prabon to Sewia has been increased to 4 cedis from 2 cedis due to the poor state of the road. We plead with the government to fix the road.
They want government to fix the road to ease movement. With the onset of the rain, residents fear the poor state of the road will further worsen, implying this stretch will be a nightmare to motorists. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Prabon, Ashanti region.
The kente cloth has always been at the center of Ghana's history, but with modernized versions of a rich cloth taking center stage, the concerns are rising that the centuries-old fabric is losing its original value. Is that valid? Well, my colleague Aisha Yakubu Halit has been finding out. And we'll bring you that particular story as we make it available. You know, it's been such a subject. People use the kente for modernized clothes, for their weddings, for their parties, engagements, etc. Let's see this.
One cloth that largely represents Ghana, its culture and its people is the kente. It is an iconic representation of the country's history, ethnic groups, social values, and heritage. A fabric believed to be inspired by the spider's artistry at making its web, kente's foundation dates back to the 17th century. From royalty to the common man, kente is a symbol of wealth.
Kente was originally used in certain forms and specifically for some specific people. It was meant for people in higher places, chiefs, queens, abrampong, who are next to the kings and queens, and then people who were very rich.
With an ever more fashionable and fashion-conscious society, kente is taking center stage in all occasions these days. Kente has been modernized and used beyond the Ghanaian royal court, as there are now different versions, new patterns and colors.
When I got into the business, it was more about the traditional kente, like the agency, Jinso, Fatia Fatankroma, and the likes. Those were the ones that were there in colors. But with time, you know, things have to evolve. People prefer other things. You can't keep having the same Fatia Fatankroma for everyone. So to be able to be in business, our viewers also have work to do. And to keep it exciting for the customers, we have to evolve. And that is where all these modern types are coming into play.
Baba Ankra has been in the kente cloth business for 12 years. She tells me not only have things evolved in the past 10 years, but 80% of her clients would rather have the modern kente than the traditional ones. The cost, however, an issue for many.
Expensive is good. It's hand-woven. It's hard work. It's hard labor. We have to make the people that sit and weave this thing have the pride. Anything handmade is luxury. We are supposed to promote our own and support. We travel outside Ghana and really spend on expensive things. I agree it should be affordable for a lot more people to own it, but we shouldn't downplay it.
Bertha Sapong is creative director of Mother Bertha, a fashion house that is known for typically making kente outfits.
These days, when anybody walks in, being it wanting a graduation outfit, being it wedding guest outfit, bridal, birthday party, they all want to, have a kente outfit. About 80% of the people who come and request for an outfit would want the new modern kente.
There have been concerns, however, regarding the excessive use of the modern kente. Osoi Bunsu Safu Kantanka is unhappy with how the cloth is used sometimes.
Certainly, if you have something you treasure, you don't have to demean it by using it as a rag, using it as a tablecloth, using it for other things that are not important. We have to be very selective, know which areas are demeaning and which areas should not be used.
Both Baba and Bertha also believe history is not being distorted with how the cloth has evolved. They, however, would not want the public to lose sight of it completely.
The colors will change, it will revolve over time. That is how we would get people still in love with kente. But then it's not taking the authenticity anyway, because that is in the work that goes in the weaving processes.
We shouldn't let go of the traditional kente entirely, but I think that we should also evolve at the same time. So I feel like we should just add onto the old designs so that it makes it a bit interesting.
Whether modern or traditional, kente would forever be of high value and always be a representation of the culture and heritage of Ghana, and protecting it will be in the best interest of the country. Aisha Yakubu Khalid, TV3 News, Accra.
Some more stories now. Former Member of Parliament for Katamanso and the Regent of Katamanso, Joseph Nilaya Futiagbo, is urging the NDC delegates in the Greater Accra and other regions to vote for former President John Mahama in the upcoming presidential primaries. He noted the challenges confronting the country require experience and a politically matured person.
Nilaya Futiagbo, popularly referred to as Lion, made the call during a tour of some constituencies in the Gadangbe area of the Greater Accra region.
Somebody called me. I said, oh, I was campaigning for Mama. And the person said, oh, they doesn't need to be campaigned for. It is time for us to bring Mama back so that Mama will come and continue with his vision and the plans that he had for this country.
The tour was organized by the Greater Accra John Mahama campaign team covering 93 wards in Ada, Sege, and Kpong Kantamanso constituencies.
Knowing a lot of people have Mama at heart and they want to vote for him, there are these technicalities that we need to share with them so that they'll be careful as to who they put at the polling station. When you see somebody offering himself with force, say he wants to be at a polling station, but it means he's been influenced. He has an agenda. So we have to be careful and watchful. When the votes are counted at the polling station, it is very important that when the results are taken, everybody keeps his whatever sheet, pink sheet or red sheet or green sheet or whatever, you keep it. Whoever wants to do whatever with the paper, that one, it is his problem. But Ghanaians are ready to die for themselves, and we don't need to do that for them.
Chairman for the Ada constituency and a former ambassador, Horace Ni Ayankra, admonished delegates to support the former president.
We here are from the Greater Accra region, so we are here talking to delegates that there's no two ways about it. For what he's done before, for what he's planning to do for the party and the country, we have one person that we should vote for, or they should vote for, and that is ex-President John Mahama.
Members of the campaign team took turns at various wards calling on Ghanaians to vote for John Mahama. 4 persons have so far picked up nomination forms to contest in the National Democratic Congress flag bearership race. They are former President John Dramani Mahama, former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Dufour, former Metropolitan Chief Executive for Kumasi, Kojo Bonsu, and businessman Ernest Kweku Krobia. The NDC will on May 13 elect a flag bearer and parliamentary candidate for the 2024 election.
Still in politics, let's head now to Ningo Pram constituency, where branch executives of a governing New Patriotic Party have embarked on a rigorous drive to mobilize more delegates to elect Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, leader ahead of the party's presidential primaries.
The New Patriotic Party is yet to announce a date to hold its presidential primaries, but already 10 persons have expressed interest in the slot. Branch executives and some delegates of the party in Ningo Pram, calling themselves Friends of Bawumia, have tipped Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as a potential winner and given him their support.
We trust he is the candidate to win us election 2024. He is the best choice to be able to match up with the biggest opposition party in the country right now. That is why they are using all foul means to relegate the entire process, in that they will say things like, when did he come, he's not part of the succession plan, and all that, supporting sort of NDC ideology.
In this year's election, our purpose is to elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then it is only one cause. Look, it is not about when somebody joined the party or when somebody didn't join the party, but it's about whether the person will be able to deliver on the things that the party has set as an agenda for itself.
A legal practitioner, Anthony Idunketia, believes Dr. Bawumia is the only candidate to unite the party and give the opposition NDC a stiffer competition.
This is Bawumia's time, because North-South divide, Bawumia is the one who can bridge the gap and unify the whole country. In the midst of COVID and the Ukraine war, Ghana has not been mismanaged. Ghana did not go the Sri Lanka way. As we speak today, we can walk to any fuel station and buy fuel. Go to see our brothers just in Nigeria here. They queue for everything, including fuel.
But the district chief executive for Ningo Pram, Al Latif Tete Amano, wants the delegates to be measured in their decisions and give all candidates equal reception.
When the green light is being given, they must prepare themselves to welcome all flag bearers who are ready to visit our district and constituency as a whole.
You're also watching Midday Live from the News Hub here at Adisawe Kanda in Accra. If you stay with us after this break, we have more stories including sports and entertainment.
The COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective. I encourage all pregnant women to go in for the vaccine. And to add to this, I have a beautiful bouncing baby girl who is a year old now.
Remember, we are not safe until all eligible persons are vaccinated. Protect yourself, your family, and your community. Get vaccinated now.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chese na me ankasa me period na se problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chese na nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me enu kofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama no nura ene ne ho eden a watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you. Acrobato. Hello. Hey, ohwehwe what che? Okay. A free bra wo di end point what dance. Am me call you no. Me Johnson sema na enkoyie en paso na my emre nyina na magina sebema na me no be fie for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Are you a bomber? Yes or no? If you your girlfriend, make her know. Boys, we go carry go.
That's right. Gate rush.
everyone. It's been what, 13 weeks of love, drama, love, sweet fun moments, exciting moments, thrilling, intriguing moments here, and a little bit of heartbreak. And now the reunion is on TV3, Studio B. This Sunday, 12th of March, at exactly 8 p.m., my ladies are coming back. Of course, with their dates. Want to find out from them how things have been. I also want to see who is taking this the next level. I can't wait for that dondo. And I'm sure you can wait as well. 8 p.m. Sunday, 12th of March. It is a date on Date Rush.
Date Rush is sponsored by
Rush Energy Drink,
Airtel Tigo, Sense Body Spray,
Duffy's Health and Beauty, Pepsodent Herbal,
Geisha,
Obuasi Bitters,
Remy Spices, Give Us Herbal Mixture,
Carnival Strawberry, Forever Clear, Acne Control Range and Multi-Fruit Set.
We are on a mission promoting access to quality health and education through the power of our media space. Since 2014, we have made great impact. TV3 mission now drives Ghana's quest to break barriers and provide access to inclusive and quality girls' education, together with women's maternal health services. Our mission to address the needs of the socially excluded has won the admiration of many. Indeed, TV3 Mission gets you the results. Mission is live on TV3 News 360 every Saturday and Sunday. Supported by Star Ghana Foundation, with thanks to Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office.
I think that VGMA should let you perform this year at the Ghana Music Awards.
The freedom to sing, dance, and express one's talent is one of the greatest gifts a creative individual can cherish.
We plead with every parent with one accord to help empower the girl child education.
This week on Talented Kids, your favorite contestants will utilize their own themes to express themselves to the best of their abilities.
You're amazing, and God bless you with this talent.
Dial star 713 star 13 hash or download the TV3 reality app in order to vote for your favorite contestant. Talented Kids, free to play.
Talented Kids shows on TV3 every Sunday at 4 p.m.
Powered by Indomie. Sponsored by Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, Cowbell, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Insecticide Spray, Enapa Mackerel, Kiki Juice Drink, Flora Tissues, Top Choco, Coco Plus,
Deluxy Acrylic Paint.
You're welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, mastering the art of public speaking is a skill that can take many years to develop. Young people and students shy away from public speaking contests due to fear, tension, shyness, and anxiety. Here is a report highlighting some interventions being made to build effective communication skills among young people.
Public speaking is one area that has not been well explored to give young people the practical experiences they need to speak more fluently, effectively, and confidently. The Young Debaters is one dedicated program which has been producing speakers every year to participate in the International Public Speaking Competition in the UK.
We believe that our youth today need to know how to stand on the world stage and express themselves convincingly. In our school system these days, there are not a lot of opportunities for them for public speaking. So we put in place this program that will allow them to actually come, share their opinions, share their ideas, not in a confrontational way as is usually done in debate.
Although it seems people do not appreciate the relevance of these activities for students, The TYD has since its inception been training students for global competitions. After weeks of rigorous training, student participants from schools like the Accra High School, Accra Girls SHS, Akosombo International School, Chemu SHS and Ghana International School have been engaging in tight competitions.
It has been really good. I have met new people and have learned new things, and it is very important for me to actually be able to share my ideas.
Debating is actually a good thing. It has to expose you to the world, and it helps you to think on the spot.
I, for one, have gotten the benefits of acquiring more knowledge, and I encourage my fellow youth out there to also put their phones aside and get into more practical stuff.
My experience with the program so far is that it's been actually very good. I've learned a lot of things about speaking, which is actually very beneficial.
Any of these students who wins the final contest will represent Ghana in the UK. According to some teachers, it is an avenue to enhance the potentials of the student.
The students, majority of them are not confident. So such programs exposes them to different communication skills.
This Young Debaters program is quite unique, different from other debating programs. This is not just about speaking for or against emotions, it's about expressing your views in a unique way. So I think that this program should be very much encouraged.
Programs manager of the Young Educators Foundation, Salome Jakpasu, said there is a need to offer extracurricular activities that aid the total education of children.
We are trying to build our youth in different ways, build their confidence, build their public speaking skills, build their critical thinking skills, and all of those things that are really important in our world today, especially if you want to export them onto the world stage where you'll meet people from different backgrounds, different countries, other youth that are more exposed than them.
Now, a Pan-African leadership organization, BCA Leadership, says solutions to Africa's problems are already in Africa, but poor decision-making by the leaders means the continent remains underdeveloped. Announcing the 5th edition of the annual Made in Africa conference slated for June 14, Chief Executive Officer of BCA Leadership, Dr. Taylor Pierce, said the poor decision-making by leaders is costing the continent.
The conference is a gathering of African company owners and executives, managing directors and public sector leaders. It is aimed at inspiring and supporting leadership development among African leaders, promote intra-Africa trade and collaboration, and boost productivity and production of goods and services on the continent. CEO of BCA Leadership said the solutions to African problems are already in Africa.
I'm not going to bore you with giving examples of leaders that have led us from grace to grass. The leadership is critical, and leaders making optimal decisions is key. But I want to leave you with this, sir. It is not just the leadership of the president. It is leadership at every level of our society. Every one of us here is a leader because you first are leading yourself.
Samuel Ayim, a Ghanaian lawyer and banker, said the conference will position Africans in the global trade.
Until the lion tells a story, the story of hunting will always glorify the hunter. The story of Africa has been told by others, and in many ways, the story doesn't represent the totality or the truth of African story. And so we want Africans to tell our own stories. We want to listen to our achievers, we want to listen to our issues. How have they solved the issues, those who have achieved, how did they do it?
The theme for the conference slated for June 14 and 15 is Making Africa Work for Africans, Collaborations and Partnerships.
Now, Chairman of the World Human Rights Council West Africa has advised government to invite diasporans to assist in its ongoing debt exchange program. Ni Aite Anumele Oyanka said the refusal of a finance minister to heed the good counsel of many individuals had led to the economic challenges.
We cannot continue to rely on foreign institutions and organizations and the IMF. We as a Ghanaian, some of us, we have taken it as a sole responsibility to make sure the development of Ghana becomes a part of our daily responsibility. We have money, we have funding to help Ghana through our friends in other organizations outside the country, and because they are diasporans, and because the message of the Foreign Affairs Ministry and the President is that the diasporans should come back to Ghana to help develop the country. These people are coming, and they are coming properly to help us to bring development. So when they bring the development and we take them to government, and the government doesn't do the needful, what is needed for us, it is very painful. I can tell you that I stand as the only traditional royal leader who opposed the IMF deal when it came in. I told all Ghanaians that, look, we have the capacity, the means and ways to be able to help Ghana for the country to get back on its feet. We did this not by just words. We did with documents. We wrote officially to the Bank of Ghana, to the Parliament, everywhere that we need to write to, we wrote to them. But we didn't get any response from them.
You're still watching Midday Live. Time now for sports. Kelvin Owusu is joining me in studio. Kelvin, I know Senegal has been in the news over the last few hours. What have they done again? They seem to be doing a lot of football and they're dominating the continent.
Yes, dominating everything. They are Africa champions. They won the beach soccer and they've added the Africa Youth Championship yesterday by defeating Gambia 2-0 in the finals.
Oh, nice. They seem to be on a roll.
Yeah, I think it's a very good plan. Once you have a very good plan and you run it properly, you get the benefits of it, and that is exactly what they are benefiting.
I guess there are lots of lessons we can learn.
Yeah, the GFA, I'm sure they've seen it, and Ghana Football or the sports ministry need to take steps so that we can also get back to our glory days.
Great.
Well, it's time for sports here on Better Life. Well, on to our first story, and Senegal's young Teranga Lions have beaten their neighbors Gambia 2-0 to win their first ever Africa Youth Championship. The Senegalese, who are champions of Africa at both senior and CHAN levels, are now the undisputed leaders of the round ladder game in the continent. They will be leading Africa's quartet that includes the Gambia, Nigeria, and Tunisia to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. Mamadou Camara in the Egyptian capital of Cairo were enough to secure Senegal victory over their arch rivals. The West African side completed the tournament with a 100% record, winning all their matches without conceding a single goal. They are expected to be dominant when they get to the world stage. Well, very impressive from Senegal now to the Ghana Premier League, and round 21 of the GPL began yesterday. The spoils were shared in a 1-0 draw between Hearts of Oak and BBN Gold Stars. Gold Stars took the lead in the first few minutes of the game through Evans Owusu, but it was cancelled out later in additional time thanks to an Isaac Mensah header for the Phobians.
Here's Emmanuel Apel, he's looking for support. Now Evans Owusu, he sends in a cross. And it's a magnificent finish from Evans Owusu. Gold Stars in the lead. What a goal. Magical. Completely beaten. Had no answers whatsoever. It looked like he took a slight deflection of Amankwabe feet. No, it didn't. Went straight. It hit the side post into the net. Gold Stars 1, Hearts 0. Evans Owusu, the goal scorer. Next stop for Gold Stars will be away to King Faisal in Kumasi at the Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. Ibrahim Salif is testing, and that's the equalizer. The Fabians have equalized. Isaac Mensah has broken the hearts of the Gold Stars fans here at the dance park. They never say die until the bones are rotten. Good delivery from Ibrahim Salifu and the header from Isaac Mensah, leaving goalkeeper Joba with no answers. Mensah to the rescue of the Phobians. The Phobians.
Well, Zlatko Matic, House of Folks coach, is still not available, but assistant coach David Okulu explained that he was disappointed they couldn't run away with the 3 points. But Michael Osei, on the other hand, for Gold Stars, wasn't too happy with the final defensive unit of his play.
Initially, I told you we're going to fight hard and take a good result home. I was expecting a win. but it's unfortunate we couldn't get a win. By a draw, thank God. We started with a 4-2-3-1 in the first half, but we couldn't contain them in the middle. So during recess, I have to adjust and change to 4-4-2 diamond. So you could see that the second half when we came, we dominated play and my boys were moving well. We had a clear penalty, but I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, very disappointed, very disappointed. But that's football for you. I mean, it was a game that we deserved the 3 points, but sometimes it happens like that. We were very organized. We were leading 1-0. We controlled the game. I mean, the opponent wouldn't get any opportunities, but very unfortunate that we conceded that last minute goal with a lack of concentration, because this is the last minute. We need to focus. We need to be disciplined. I mean, and defend that goal. But it has happened. There's nothing that we can do. We need to learn something from it and then make sure it won't happen next time.
Now to the English Premier League, and Chelsea managed to win their third game on a bounce as Liverpool also struggled in their game when losing by a goal to nil. Nottingham Forest as Andrea Yu missed a penalty.
250 victories later, the appetite for success still remains unsated. Now Ouattara again, must be close to being offside here, but the flag is stayed down for now. Solanke's in the middle, so too is Phil Billing, and it counts. They put 7 past Manchester United, but they're behind in Bournemouth.
Richarlison. He's forced his way through. It's Ben Davies, keeps it alive. Porro in towards Harry Kane! And Harry Kane scores for Tottenham. Here comes Kane, and it is emphatic. Harry Kane, 20 league goals this season. He makes no mistake to double Tottenham's lead.
No expletives required, but what are you doing?
Richarlison is clear, Son is in the middle. If he can get this right, it could be 3-0, but that was such an important piece of defending from Worrell. It's still there with Tottenham, and it's Son! It is 3-0! Forest corner, and that is in. Worrell. Nottingham Forest have a goal back. It did take a touch on the way through, but Worrell, having given away the penalty in the first half, scores with a header in the second, and Nottingham Forest do have that goal back.
By Harry Souttar. Was clipped in by Koulibaly, and Chilwell will meet it first time! And on his return to his former club, Ben Chilwell puts Chelsea into the lead. João Felix dispossessed. Daka goes for goal! Sensational equaliser for Leicester City! Well, the goals have been all too rare for Patson Daka this season, but back in the starting lineup here this afternoon. And he drags his side level. Chelsea carrying a bit of menace here at the end of this first half. Havertz with a sublime finish. And again, we get to see the quality that Chelsea have at their disposal. On to that ball forwards. Conor Gallagher up in support. Chelsea have got good numbers forwards here. Mudryk looks to head it back across. Fantastically finished by Mateo Kovacic.
That'll be all for sports this afternoon, but at 6 p.m. join us on 3FM 92.7 for the maiden edition of the Sports Ultra Show. Entertainment News is next.
In entertainment, this afternoon, 2022 Ghana's most beautiful winner, Queen Tanteya Dramani, has launched her Kaya Lahakani project at the Ali Muhammad Sports Stadium in Tamale. The project seeks to reduce Kayaye participation by young women and equip them with vocational and occupational skills.
The colorful event saw a powerful representation of traditional authorities, politicians, and other influential personalities from the North. The vision of the Kayala Kani project is to reduce the rate at which young women and girls from the North participate in Kayaye. Teya gave an overview of the project.
The Kayala Kani project seeks to annually train young women and girls in different vocations and also provide these young women and girls with available employment opportunities. Our vision is to reduce the rate of young women and girls from northern Ghana participating in Kayayu. And our mission is to educate young women and girls on the risks of Kayayu and equipping them with skills and appropriate tools for employment.
Northern Regional Minister Alhaji Alhassan Shani Shaibu lauded TV3 for using the Ghana's most beautiful platform to unearth talents in the country. He appealed to sons and daughters from the region to support the Kayala Kani project.
I therefore applaud the organizers of this project for their commitment to empower young girls and for their recognition in the importance of investing in their training and most importantly for complementing government's efforts to make life better for the young girls.
General Manager of TV at Media General, Francis Doku, said the Ghana's most beautiful platform continue to groom young talents in the country whose projects have impacted society over the past 15 years.
As you know, Ghana's Most Beautiful has been very important show or project on TV3 over the past 15 years. We've organized this very important pageant that brings together very confident, beautiful young ladies from all the regions in Ghana. Not only to come and show how beautiful they are, but also to represent their regions and portray the region very well in terms of its tourism potential, the trade opportunities, the cultural aspects of the region, and generally to market each of those regions.
For this year, the project is expected to train 100 young women in vocational occupations and equip them with good skills so that they are able to care for themselves. 10 sewing machines were presented to some Kayaye girls under the Kayala Kani project.
In some more entertainment news, actor John Dumelo, who has indicated his intention of returning to Ayawaso West Wogon to contest the seat for Member of Parliament, has taken a swipe at his closest contender and colleague in the movie industry, Fred Nuama. He described him as a backstabber. In an interview on United Showbiz, John Dumelo said he had no mention to Fred Nuama that he was not going to contest the seat, for which reason Fred Nuama decided to pick forms for the NDC. He went on to say they are no more friends and they will go ahead to contest their primaries.
Did I tell Fred that I'm not contesting in Ayawaso West? At no point. No point whatsoever. At no point. Oh, I don't know. I never had a conversation with Yausichi about Fred. I can never give Fred Nyama my blessings. To do what? To come and contest in Ayawaso when he knows I'm coming to contest there. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? And you see, this matter, I'm in Pedemik, but pardon him, Fred. And that's what I'm saying. Obi offered him 2 months ago, no, or catch him there, what? Them member back into Onuntino or support my bid to come back. No? And then he's saying that I gave his blessings. When did I give his blessings? When did I give my blessings to him? When did I give my blessings to him? On my birthday, Oba my birthday, Nasi. 3rd February, we're a surprise party, ma'am. Oba my birthday, Nasi. He came there, and you bring down releasing a flyer. After that, I send him long text message, and I said, Fred, I never told you I am not coming back. Or 1 hour copy form. So which blessings did I give?
So you heard the actor John Dumelo speaking on United Showbiz for the first time following the picking of forms by his contender Fred Nuama. And later tonight, the much talked about Date Rush reunion will be happening right here on TV3. Past contestants and acclaimed matchmaking reality show will come through Studio B with their dates to give updates on their relationship so far. You do not want to miss all the fun and the drama. Giovanni and Anita will be in the seat. Time now for international news. We know the head of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, has said discovering the origins of COVID-19 is a moral imperative and all hypotheses must be explored. He was writing to mark 3 years since the WHO first used the word pandemic to describe the global outbreak of COVID-19. That's our show for this afternoon. It came to you live from our studios at Adisawe Kanda in Accra. If you log on to 3news.com, you find a lot more stories there. You can find me and some of the team on social media. Let's make a date at 8 p.m. for the Trash Reunion. Good afternoon.